You were tuned in to G5 Jeff TV. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button as you come on in. It's your boy G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. Now, Terence Crawford, David Avanesian is going down, Omaha, Nebraska, December 10th. Now, this fight is going to be on pay-per-view. It's going to be $39.99, and it's going to be on Black Prime Network. So basically, this is a new network, and they're putting on this fight, and they are guaranteeing Terence Crawford 10 million. So my question is the 10 mil guaranteed? Will Terence Crawford get the 10 million? And not only will Terence Crawford get the 10 million, will David Avanesian get his portion? And is everyone else involved with the event going to get paid what they're supposed to get paid? Now, disclaimer, this is no shade towards Black Prime. This is no shade towards Terence Crawford or the deal that's in place or the pay-per-view. Sit back, get your popcorn. Let me explain. Now, with my question in regards to whether Terence Crawford is going to get 10 million is because, unfortunately, in the sport of boxing, boxers are not guaranteed to get paid the amount that they're told they're getting paid. Anybody that's inside the sport of boxing knows that. Recent example, Tevin Farmer, Mickey Bay. They had some new people that they were dealing with that was supposed to guarantee their purse for their fight. And they ended up not fighting because the funds was not verified. The funds was not there for them to have prior to the fight. Don King. Don King has had several cards and several fighters where they stated that they didn't get paid or Don King didn't have all the money to pay them. There was a rumor out there that Dimitri Bivol, it took a while for him to get paid. So trust me, this is not a knock against Black Prime or Terence Crawford, but unfortunately in the sport of boxing, it can get, real slim shady out here. So you have to question it. So hopefully Black Prime has that 10 mil in an escrow account. When you do business, that's the way to show proof of funds. You put it in an escrow account. So hopefully that's the case. And at the end of the day, anybody can provide a check, but is it going to clear? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? A check that's not going to clear is just a piece of paper. So hopefully this is a situation where Bud gets what he's supposed to get, Avanesian gets what he's supposed to get, and everybody else get what they supposed to get. And I'm going to tell you why I feel that way in a second. Now, going to the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is $39.99. Now, I have a couple of questions. Number one, we all support Al Heyman because a lot of it is just, he's a black man out here making moves. And that's how a lot of black people feel. So a lot of times we support, the black product, black movement, things like that. This is a company that represents black. So will you support this pay-per-view even if you don't support Bud Crawford? So that's one question. Another question when it comes down to this situation, and not even a question, it's really just a comment. There's a lot of people that have a problem with this pay-per-view. Let me say this like real quick. And this is just facts. PBC has put on very questionable pay-per-views. Fights that should not be on pay-per-view have been getting on pay-per-view, and they're charging anywhere between $70 to $80. I love Wilder to death, but Wilder Hellenius is not pay-per-view worthy. And it showed. Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. That was a pay-per-view. not worthy. And there's a couple other ones that are not pay-per-view worthy. To be honest with you, Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz was not pay-per-view worthy. It's God honest truth. So Bud Crawford and David Avenesian being on pay-per-view for $39.99, I don't have a problem with it. Because that's pretty much the trend that's been set, by PBC. For me, you can't be a PBC fan and you say, oh, well, I got a problem with this Bud Crawford pay-per-view, but you bought Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz, or you bought Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz. Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You bought Wilder and Hellenius. Like, none of those fights are worth your pay-per-view dollar, but you paid for it anyway. So you either pay for it because you support Al Heyman or you support PBC. So if you support those type of pay-per-views, then you shouldn't have a problem with this Bud and Avenesian one because it falls right in line with those. I don't think Bud and Avenesian is supposed to be pay-per-view in either. I don't agree with that being on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? My thing is I'm all about keep your energy even. Same amount of smoke for everything. You know what I'm saying? If you got smoke for Al, give it to Bob. If you got smoke for Aram, give it to Hearn. If you got smoke for Hearn, give it to Oscar. You know what I'm saying? I'm not team PBC, team Top Rank, team Golden Boy, or team DAZN. I'm team right and wrong, and team make sense and don't make sense. That's me. That's why I'm where I'm at right now, because people know I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to be biased. If Bob Arum's doing some shady stuff, I'm calling it. If Al doing some shady stuff, I'm calling it. Eddie's doing shady stuff, I'm calling it. If any of those guys are making dumb decisions, I'm calling it. But if they do a great job, I'm going to say they're doing a great job. At the end of the day, Terence Crawford and David Avenesian, it's not a pay-per-view fight, period. It's not a pay-per-view fight, but there's a lot of cards that end up on pay-per-view that us, the boxing fan and the boxing consumer, they throw the bill on us and they expect for us to pay. And then they get mad when people start illegally streaming and stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I think boxing needs kind of like an overhaul from a business perspective, because there's too many people skimming at the top. There's too many bills getting laid on the feet of the boxing fan and the hardcore boxing fan. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. And there's too many times where fighters are, they're in camps and things like that, and they're preparing for a fight, and they fight get canceled. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a lot of business stuff with boxing that I'm not really agreeing with right now. But Bud Crawford, David Avenesian, December 10th is going to be in Omaha, so I'm assuming it's going to be sold out. So it should be a pretty good gate. I'm hoping for the sake of the fighters and everyone that's involved that the check clears. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. It's 5. I'm out.